What's going on? I'm Jim Perona and welcome to the 50th installment of the weekly Axe Kicking. Today we're going to take the main theme from Dave Weiner's On Revolute album and put it through what I call the technique grinder. We're going to use some cool classical guitar fingerpicking techniques to interpret that theme in a few different ways. So grab your acoustic or classical guitar and here we go. Now before we get into this, I want to say a few words about Dave Weiner, the composer and performer of the theme we're going to be looking at. Look at what I'm doing right now. I'm presenting an installment of an online video guitar series in order to promote online guitar lessons. If that sounds familiar, it's because Dave Weiner basically pioneered this whole thing. You probably are familiar with the riff of the week if you're watching this, but if you're not, check it out. It's been going for 5 years strong and it's awesome. If by chance you are unfamiliar with Dave, he is an instructor at GIT. He's a solo artist who has 2 albums, and he's been in Steve Vai's band for over a decade. That's some pretty sick stuff to have on your resume. And, like I said, he pioneered this online guitar lesson thing. I myself have been taking lessons with him that have been geared more towards career guidance. And man, I can't even begin to describe how helpful he has been with me, helping me on that path. And it's like, the world is full of great guitar players and great musicians, but, honestly, not all of them are great people. And Dave is a great player. He's a great musician. But most impressively, he's just a kick-ass guy. And, I say that based on my experience going over this career stuff with him. He really is one of those guys who takes a vested interest in what you're trying to accomplish. Really wants to see you succeed, not just going through the motions or anything like that. And, making a living as a musician can be, it is a pretty difficult endeavor, and he's been so helpful for me at that. So, yeah, Dave, you freaking rock, man. And just on behalf of me, and I'm sure many, many others out there, just thank you so much, man. Awesome. Now, it seemed appropriate to use this riff for our technique grinder because on the album it's presented in a few different ways. We hear that theme on the 1st, 7th, and last track. And it's played on acoustic guitar, which we just heard. It's played on piano, which Tony McAlpine recorded. It's pretty awesome. And at the end, played on electric guitars. And that's really cool because it has this kind of big, bombastic, epic feel to it. So what we're going to do is use some classical guitar fingerpicking techniques to kind of paint this riff a few different musical colors, so to speak. Now, none of these examples we do will have that main theme being played note by note. It'll more or less use, the main theme as a guideline. Also, on the album, this theme always repeats. We're not going to always repeat it. So, that being said, the techniques we'll be using are standard fingerpicking, pizzicato, all thumb, a rest stroke and tambora combination, plucked harmonics, and tremolo. So, let's do this. Now before we get started, let's take a quick listen to the theme we'll be covering. For general finger picking, my thumb and my index finger, so P and I, will be doing a lot of the bass notes. A little bit of the M finger will be covering bass notes as well. The melody notes will be mostly my M and A finger. So this pizzicato all thumb thing is designed to improve the dexterity in the thumb. And and basically all the bass notes will be pizzicato, so muted. All the melody notes will not, so they will not be muted. Here we go. Now we're going to use a tambora and restro combination, and this basically involves it's kind of like almost like a slap at the kind of towards the top of the bridge of the guitar here, well, a little past the top. So you have that percussive kind of resonance thing going on, and for more on the rest stroke, there'll be links to more axe kicking videos talking about rest stroke technique. But it's basically going to go something like this. This next technique is called plucked harmonics, and I'm pretty sure that Dave's done a video on these in his Riff of the Week series. I don't even know if I have, but the basic gist of it is, you know how you play the 12th fret of an open string, it gives you a real harmonic. By that same principle, if I play the 3rd fret and have a harmonic kind of fingered 12 frets above it at the 15th fret and pluck that, you also get a harmonic. So that's the basic principle we're working with. And let's do this. Alright, the last technique covered is tremolo. I have done tremolo a few different times in whack videos, so I'll link those to the information section of this video as well. So there you go, 5 different finger-picking techniques that all created a very different effect, a very different feel for that riff. And I think doing this kind of thing is extremely valid. It forces you to think outside of the box, and it's a great mental exercise to have to use these different techniques in a way that's actually going to fit the instrument and fit the riff. Especially that riff, because Dave decided to do it in the key of B flat instead of an open key like A. And so you have to kind of refinger the bar chords as the riff progresses, and it can be a bit tricky at first, but ultimately it makes for a great practice session. Alright, so before we go, I want to go ahead and thank Dave Weiner once again for everything, and by all means, go to daveweiner.com, check out his latest record on Revolute. This thing is a friggin' tour de force of instrumental progressive rock guitar. Also, he's got a giveaway going on that is pretty sick. Once you order the album from his website, daveweiner.com, and that's important. If you order from iTunes or anything, this is not going to apply. He's got a giveaway going where I think he just reached 1,500 units sold, and once he reaches a certain number of units sold, he draws randomly from everybody who's bought the album through his site and gives away a piece of gear. And like I said, I think he just passed 1,500, and what's still left are exotic gear, EP boosters, and other things, an iPad, and best of all, a custom LA Custom Shop 7-string guitar with this cover art on it, the album cover art on it. So by all means, buy the album, enjoy the record, and give yourself a chance to win some kick-ass gear. And again, thanks Dave. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.